Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sergeant Alex here, and I am bringing you the next little part to the shipbuilding episode. Sadly, with this ship, I'm doing a giant balloon over it and not a mast, so I'm going to cover mast really quick on my other ship and just taking a quick little peek at the hull. Came out pretty nice. I'll put a link down for the previous video. Now I'm flying over to the other ship, which does have mast. I'm going to fly around there, and there'll be some screenshots at the end for you to look at. And overall, the masts take a little while to get right. They all vary in height. Um, in the middle is taller. When you go out, it gets shorter, and it goes all the way from the hull up. And I have some stairs around it to make it look like it's supported. And the tallest one is somewhere around the length of the ship, and of course the width of the parts that have the actual sails go far out past the ship. And it's just going to be something you have to play with because each ship is going to be different. I'll put some note on my notes. I'll put a little section for the mast, and it's definitely gonna have the balloon and ship notes on there. And as you can see with this ship, since I have it docked, I put the sails up, kind of like they're tied up there. Of course, if you're having a ship that's moving, little quotation marks around moving, they're going to be down. But I took the key parts of a ship and put them up. I did not put the little tail part for the rudder back in the back of the ship. I'm going to add it eventually. I kind of realized, oh, I didn't add that. So it's going to be something I do off camera, and I'll do a little tweet out on that over on the Twitter account for the channel. But now I'm going over to the ship. Now, looking at the ship, you're going to see me doing some weird stuff. I'm trying to find out where the center area of the ship is, which I have marked on my notes, but I want to figure out where I'm going to start the center of this balloon. So I'm taking a look at certain points of the ship, and I'm going to kind of work it out. And I'm counting blocks and taking looks. I split it up here a little bit. So that's where I determined this kind of center of my ship is. I fly up and take a look at it. I don't think I'm happy with it because those two little bumps popping out of the boat, that's where I'm going to make the supports that are holding the balloon to the ship. So I decided to move that back a little bit until I find something I'm happy with. And then I'm going up to a certain height where I have enough room to build on the ship and not interfere with the balloon. As you can see here, I built those two little sections up really quickly in the old ship. I just took a quick look at that and determined how high I'm gonna do that, and now I'm trying to figure out where the bottom part of my balloon is. And to make the balloon, on my notes you're gonna see this, I made 3 rings. One for the circular part, one for the flatter part, and one for the height part. Each 3 are different widths, heights, and stuff. I believe I made my balloon a little fatter than taller. And here you see me, I'm doing the circular part of the ring. Before I build any certain part of the ship, I'm going to build all 3 circles that I talked about. And this one's the smallest of all 3. It's just determining the roundness of the balloon. It's going to get widened to actually make the balloon. And I'm going to taper it in with the other 2 rings. And not much I can say on after this. I finish it up and then I pop some red blocks to mark the center points for where I'm going to place the other 2 rings. And here I pop those out. I'm going to pan out, and that's the round part of my balloon. You can see it's a little wider than taller. And I think it makes a decent shape for the balloon when we get to the finished result. And now I'm working on the other ring around the balloon. This one's going to be the flat section, and then I'll do the taller section. Not sure how I should put it. And I'm just copying all 4 sides from that little center point. And you want to do this small chunks at a time, not try to do the whole thing on one end, or try to do from one point and just do a ring around. This way it makes it a little bit easier to try and get the symmetrical shape. I'm just counting 1 row at a time. When I get to the closer sections where it's all 2s and 3s, I'm going to do multiple rows. And I think it trips me up one time, but if you take a look at it and you have a reference on your computer or drawing or whatnot, you're going to find where that little hiccup is. And there's one point over here to the other point. I'm going to pan out. And here we have the little flat section, a little bit wider than the whole balloon, as I previously said. And now I'm going to get to the uppy downy part. And now the last little ring around the balloon, and uppy downy part is actually a technical term. We use very scientific and engineering type words in the channel here. And sad part is the engineering one, I'm not far off. Kind of grew up around a bunch of engineers and such, even though I am not one. I actually took cooking for a profession and love it. And thingamajig, whatchamacallit, Wizamawhirl, and uppy downy, lefty righty, and other direction is terms you hear a lot in engineering talk. What they were talking about, I have no idea. It just looked neat. So, doing the same thing as I did with the first big ring. Just working my way around little sections, not trying to do the whole thing at once and mess it up. And when I'm done, I have 3 little points to go off of and fill it out. And overall, it is a large build. I think on the entire balloon, it took me about hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. One half took me 45 minutes, and I didn't time myself for the other half, so I'm guessing it took around the same amount of time. And here we have the completed 3 rings, and you can see the overall shape of the balloon. Now, through the magic of editing, I've sped up the video because this is a long, tedious, time-taking part, and it is actually filling in the balloon. I'm just going around the smaller ring and extending it out and bringing it in every now and then to go with the other 2 rings of the ship, and I mark off on the inside and outside where the middle part of the balloon is. It takes a while, and I'm not concentrating on trying to get the actual balloon shape. This is blocky, this is chunky, it's going to be square when I finish. For the hell of it, I took a screenshot of this and posted over on the Minecraft forum, and I got the same result. I was like, okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one thinking this. And at the end of the video, part of it I get cut out, but I'm just going to go over the little method I used to kind of add shape to the balloon. I'll show you some screenshots of the finish. I kind of had some issues with the recording equipment, so I do apologize for that, but I still tried to put out a nice educational Minecraft video. And one of the hard parts when doing this was making the balloon symmetrical. So do check on that. This little half didn't come out great in the finished part, but the other half did. And as you can see, I'm flying up to show you it. And that is the first half of the balloon. I'm not going to show you how I did the second half. I literally did the same process, just backwards. Well, flipped around. Now it's trying to make the balloon round. And this is one of the little test videos I did. I really sad the one I did that I was happy about and did a good job on recording didn't record. And all I'm doing is I'm going back, and the parts that are chunky, I'm just deleting some stuff. I'm adding material to give it angles, give it a round shape. Instead of having like those 2 blocks there, I deleted so it has a point there and it's rounder. I hope I'm making sense on this one. So you just go around. What I did is I took it at little sections at a time once I figured out my process, and I just went around and around and around. I started off by deleting blocks, and then I went back and added. And here I have one half of the balloon done. I'm going to do the other half. You can on the left, you can see the completed. On the right, you can see that chunkiness I was talking about. And I think I gave it overall a nice shape. And I hope I'm making sense for you. Honestly, there's not a better way I can explain it. And here is the completed balloon. And here is just the 2 little screenshots of the mast I said I would put at the end. One from the front, giving you the width, and that one kind of from the top, kind of giving you a height. I'm going to have something in the notes definitely for this. Okay, and that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I love reading your comments, so please comment anything. It could be about the cats, about future episodes, about something you would like to see on the channel, anything. Other than that, This is Sergeant Alex, and I hope you have a nice day.